Right, the UK deficit is now £1.3 trillion, not billion, trillion. The UK is one of the most indebted countries in the world. To service that debt, not pay it down, just service it, is costing £1 billion a week. You tell me that that's competent government. What happened was Margaret Thatcher deregulated, called it the Big Bang in the 1980s. She took all the rules away and let the money men in. Greed became good. Blair and Brown had the opportunity to sort that out, and they didn't. They made it worse. They kowtowed to the City of London, and they're still kowtowing all Westminster politicians to the City of London. What we are doing here, I'll tell you why they're all up to snooze today. It's not just Westminster that we've worried. Actually, it's the whole capitalist system, because what we are putting forward is a new type of government where we take the power, we tell politicians what to do, and we make them regulate the banks. Iceland put its bankers in jail. I think a few politicians.
Following the performance of the Better Together campaign, how many Labour members of Parliament do you think Scotland will send to Westminster following that election?
I put out on the doorsteps every day for months now, I think, and I can tell you the vast majority of Labour supporters are voting no. But even those who say, and there are some who say they're going to vote yes, that's absolutely, I respect that. Because I always ask them, what about after that? And they say, I'm still with the Labour Party. So I can't give you a guess about numbers, that's up to what people do at election time, but that's just a wee bit of a take on what people are saying on the doors.
Well, I can tell you, he actually went to 10 former Labour Party members who sat in Cleveland District Council or Western Berkshire Council. Each one of those 10 former Labour Party councillors, including me, would tell you we are all voting yes.
Yes. I'm really quite interested to hear what kind of Scotland are we talking about for the future, okay? And I'm wondering, are we talking about Scotland totally in isolation to the rest of the United Kingdom? That's something for you to answer. And the other thing is, it stems from that is, are there no degrees of reciprocity at all where we come together on anything? So maybe you could help me with it. Okay?
Of course we are going to cooperate. I see it a bit like the Scandinavian countries. They cooperate in many, many issues. It makes sense, but we must hold power. We must control it. Of course we will work with other people. I'm glad you asked about the kind of Scotland we want to see, because one issue that hasn't been mentioned here tonight, and as a school teacher I feel very strongly about it, I want the best education system in the world for our children. In the white paper, and the white paper is the SNP government, but in the 2016 Scottish election, any party who wants to get in is going to have to match this. They are suggesting a system, a really transformational childcare system. Now again, going back to Scandinavia, children don't go to school till they're 6 or 7 in Scandinavian countries, and yet at the age of 15 or 16, they have outcomes which are far higher than ours, and it's all down to the excellent, free, preschool childcare that is available in Scotland. And I'm very proud indeed that we're starting with our children. That's how you tackle poverty. Because when children turn up at school just now, age 5, there can be an 18-month developmental difference in things like vocabulary. Not only does it make economic sense, because if the state is providing this childcare, it means that women are released if they wish to work and contribute to the economy. From a teaching point of view, the younger you get a child, the earlier you can pinpoint any difficulties that child has and work intensively with them. That's what I want instead of Trident.
The one thing that's dear to everyone, whether you're going to be voting yes or voting no, is the health service. And the one thing that came out of one of the debates, and I'm sorry Danny, but I'm a realist, okay? I don't get this bit about your constitution, so I'm working on the basis that we don't have one, okay? So I'm sticking with what we have. The one thing that came out of one of the debates was the problem is that we don't have financial control. And under independence we'll have financial control. So if I can ask us to move, you know, a couple of years into independence, assuming that's what we get, at the moment no government can bind successive governments. So if 2 or 3 general elections down the line in an independent Scotland, they are faced with tough decisions, whatever they happen to be, how on earth, or can you tell me honestly, that no government, be it the pink with purple polka dot party that's voted in, that they cannot privatise the NHS, because no government can bind a successive government. So giving us financial control does not guarantee that we cannot privatise, and I would like your opinions on that, please.
Yep. Okay, I'll deal with the NHS first, and if there's time we'll come back to the other one. Can I say this is for me, the worst scaremongering of the entire campaign. And the charge is twofold. Firstly, that if you vote no, the NHS will end up being privatised. And then when Alex Hammond said, actually that's not the case, he said actually you would be subject to huge swingeing cuts, okay? Let me say to you, the only people that can privatise the NHS in Scotland are the Scottish Government. Oh. It is wholly devolved. We control the decisions about the NHS in Scotland currently. I'm coming on to that. Can I also just you know, because I do hate hypocrisy. Let me tell you that the Scottish Government, who complain about private medicine, have increased by 37% the amount of private medicine in the NHS because they messed up on waiting times in a number of notable cases, not least NHS Lothian. But let me come to the other flip side of this, that somehow the NHS needs to be protected from cuts. Well, let me tell you that every party advocating a no vote is also advocating more powers for the Scottish Parliament. That includes powers over taxation, income tax, and if you want to fully guarantee that there will be no cuts to the NHS, then you will get that because income tax will be devolved to the Scottish Government. The NHS is something that Labour created. I'm incredibly proud of it. It's something Labour will protect as well.
I'd actually like Jackie to read history. We were in the process of setting up an NHS in Scotland prior to the NHS Act in the United Kingdom, and that's a fact. But we would have still got it. In terms of the position you said about being a realist, see from the written constitution, that's the ultimate reality. Because if you've got a written constitution that says that there's a free at the point of delivery NHS, then it is binding in every government because nobody can change the constitution. They can change party policies, they can change party leaders, they can change anything alike, but no political party can change the constitution. You know the only people who can change a constitution? You. You. So put the NHS in the constitution. The last point I would make is, see this part in terms of war powers for Scotland. I mean, how patronising can you get? 13 years of Tory Blair, and we're actually now in a situation where we've got food banks and the promises war powers. Why didn't we get in 13 years of a Labour government?
On to some of the written questions which I'll draw up together as well, which is, when many postal votes have been sent in, why are Better Together now telling us what new powers we will get? That was the question. Not really interested in Scotland. And added to that, and I think we'll add on to, what new powers over welfare are being offered by Westminster that will make a difference to people who are being sanctioned today or facing the rollout of universal credit to come? And finally, just a similar kind of question, but I would like to get the answer to because it's a simple written question. It's, what did Joanne Lamont mean when she said that Scots are not genetically programmed to make a political decision?
Powers, because I think this is critically important, because this is the choice you face. You either vote for independence and you vote yes, and there are many of you intending to do that. That vote is forever. Okay? There is no going back. It's not like any normal election. What the other better together parties are offering are more powers, and we do have a track record on this. The Constitutional Convention that established the Scottish Parliament, we invited the SNP to participate, they refused. The Calman Commission, that has resulted in a revised Scotland Act in 2012, has seen the biggest transfer of fiscal powers to the Scottish Parliament since the advent of devolution. We asked the SNP twice to participate, they refused. We have had an unprecedented, I think, commitment from not just the Scottish leaders, but the UK leaders as well, as to more powers coming to Scotland. Let me say to you, those powers were outlined 6 months ago. Each party went through a process. The Liberal Democrats had a commission, Labour Party had a devolution commission which reported in March, and the Conservatives, I think, reported in May. What happened the other day was some no, it wasn't panic at all. Can I tell you what happened? Was people are do you know, in the new Scotland, I hope we treat each other with more respect and don't shout.
Watch 2 weeks.
What happened was an outline of the process by which these new powers would be delivered to give people confidence that they actually would. And I welcome that. I welcome the fact that it was Gordon Brown that brought forward the timetable and that the UK government confirmed that that would indeed be the case. I do think it is a choice between independence and between having a Scottish Parliament, not just with the power over health and education and transport and housing and a whole host of other things besides, but actually being part of the United Kingdom, where we benefit from the strength and security of sharing resources among 63 million people rather than just 5.
I would like to quote a newspaper that's a North East English newspaper, and it appeared in April of this year. One Joanne Lamond was interviewed, was speaking to people. Miss Lamond urged people in the North East not to believe propaganda about extra powers and riches heading to Edinburgh. Quote, Scotland will not be getting more money. It will simply be accountable for raising more of its money. I hope that dispels some myths. Joanne Lamond, I'll pass over to
Well, I'm going to agree with Jackie again. You lot are beginning to sound like Hollywood and Westminster. But I reckon people, when they're trying to talk and shout them down, honest to God, you should behave yourself, because I hear enough of that off Hollywood and Westminster without you copying their bad example. On the welfare situation, it's absolutely crucial that Scotland has control over welfare, and I don't mean a part of welfare, I don't mean the bits that they want rid of, I don't mean the bits like bedroom tax, which they now know they've made a monumental mistake on and want to shaft onto us for us to solve the problem while they continue it down in England. No, we need absolute power over several things. One in the economy, we also need control over welfare. Because we at the present time, we've got a country, and our country has got poverty, 200,000 children in poverty. And we actually think, how are we going to sort poverty? We can't sort poverty very easily. It's no magic wand, it takes a long time. And you need certain tools to do it. One of the tools you need is decent housing. One of the other tools you need is health services. The other tool you need is education. And the third tool you need is power over welfare. What we've got in terms of devolution is we've got education, health and housing, but we have no control over welfare. So it's like trying to draw a jigsaw puzzle, and you actually create the jigsaw puzzle to eradicate poverty, and then you suddenly discover the key central piece is missing. And these key central pieces are welfare and economy, and that's why we need independence.